Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting on a Fan. The time is approximately 7:56 p.m. and the date is Friday, November 9th, 2018. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Good evening. Let me begin by acknowledging my newest YouTube channel subscribers. They are I believe it's pronounced Don Nate. It looks like a compounding of Don and Nate. So Don Nate, Val Zubiri, and Sylvia Kouros. To the three of you, welcome to my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch. And since so many of us love drinking tea, I have the honor and pleasure of drinking Twinings Earl Grey with a little bit of dark brown sugar and a little bit of heavy cream. And my awesome audiovisual person is drinking Traditional Medicinals Organic Roasted Dandelion Root. I'm going to have a little sip. Speaking of teas, I want to publicly thank Mad Witch for sending me some newbie teas, newbie brand teas. I was very impressed with their Earl Grey. I am quite the Earl Grey snob, and I primarily drink, well, when it comes to Earl Grey, I almost exclusively drink Twinings. But I was especially happy with Newbie's Earl Grey tea. And both my awesome audiovisual person and I were very happy with Newbie's Oriental Sencha green tea. I'm not big on green tea. I don't drink it as often as other people do, but I was very, very pleased with their green tea. So, I am a little behind schedule on videos, as most of you know, but it is time for another installment of this beautiful Llewellyn's 2018 Tarot Calendar, Insights, Spreads, and Tips by Barbara Moore. And this is the entry for September 2018. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ten of Pentacles. I'm going to talk a little bit about the tarot deck that's depicted. I'm going to read the blurb with regards to the timing. Read the blurb that has to do with the Ten of Pentacles in this particular entry. And then I'm going to do the 8-card spread, specifically called Manage Your Resources. I'm actually going to use a different Llewellyn tarot deck, which is called the Everyday Witch Tarot. I haven't used it in too long. So first, for me, Ten of Pentacles is definitely about wealth and opulence. It's, but I would say, especially given that, oh, hello! You want to be in the video, Isis? Oh, hello! Come on, be in the video, Isis. And you gotta stop scratching yourself so hard, finding all these bumps on you. And she just looks at me. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm noticing about, well, first of all, a lot of tarot decks, especially pip decks, tend to depict the tens, and especially the Ten of Pentacles, as the Sephira, or the, I think that's the plural, Sephira or Sephirot of the Kabbalah, or rather the Tree of Life. Not so much in the Animal Totem Tarot, which I love the concept of the Animal Totem Tarot, but I'm not entirely drawn to it, although this, you know, I know that, I forgot who it is, but there is somebody who not only subscribes to the Hermit's Cave YouTube channel, but has appeared on some of his live chat videos, and she loves rabbits and bunnies. I forgot your username, but I remember you, because I remember there was a card that Simon of the Hermit's Cave did a walkthrough of, and it depicted a bunny on the Ten of Swords, and it made you very upset. So I distinctly remember you were not happy with that Ten of Swords. But I think you'd be happy with this Ten of Pentacles in the Animal Totems Tarot. So, there definitely is this correlation between the Sephirah or Sephirot of the Kabbalah and the Ten of Pentacles. So for me, this card has a lot to do with divine financial supply. And I'm going to read what the blurb says. I might need to actually open it up all the way to read everything. So, and this is again for September 2018. Often this card has the pentacles and a tree of life shape, showing the physical world in service to the spiritual. For the rabbits, the moon is sacred, and they adorn their burrow with pentacles, symbolizing the fruits of their labors. One of my favorite Chinese goddesses is Chang'o, not to be confused with Shango, the Orisha of war and passion and will and strength. And what are you doing, Isis? Do you want to be in the video or do you not want to be in the video? You need to make up your mind, girl. Okay, she's just, I don't know what she's doing. Anyway, but Chang'o, okay, Isis, you need to stop. Okay? And my awesome audiovisual person is going to pick up those books because I'm a bit busy right now. Thank you so much, my awesome audiovisual person. As I was saying, Chang'o is the Chinese goddess of the moon, and she has as her animal familiar a hare, who became her beloved companion after she had a falling out with her brother, her divine consort, the sun. Timing. Determining precise timing in a malleable universe is difficult. We see phases, beginning, middle, or end. In the beginning, things are easier to change. In the middle, they are more established. In the end, things are set. If a reading has more aces, twos, or threes, it's a beginning phase. More fours, fives, sixes, the middle phase, and sevens, eights, nines, the end phase. And I'm going to say, with tens, there is a cycle of completion and a new beginning. So, to me, tens would symbolize one door is closed, another door has opened, or said another way, one cycle has completed or concluded, and a new one has begun. I'm also going to share with you what I've learned over the years with regards to timing. With regards to the minor arcana, wands represent days. So I would interpret, if somebody asked a question about, let's say, for example, when would be a great time for me to update my resume? And the Two of Wands showed up. I would say 2 to 3 days from the time of the reading. Cups represent months. Pentacles represent years, although in a lot of my readings they represent months. And swords can represent any time period from 1 second to 1 myriad and everything in between. However, I do have 2 very good friends who both read tarot professionally, and they often interpret swords as weeks. So let's say if they were giving a client a reading and the 5 of Swords came out, they would probably interpret that as 5 to 6 weeks from the time of the reading. With the major arcana, it tends to be a little bit easier, especially since of the 22 major arcana cards, 12 of them correspond to a specific sign of the Western zodiac. So let's say, for example, a client asked a question like, well, when would be a great time for me to move into a new home? And the Strength card showed up. I would say while the sun was in Leo, which is usually, generally speaking, between July 23rd and August 22nd. If, let's say, it was the Moon card, I would say when the sun is in Pisces, because that card, the Moon card in this case, corresponds astrologically with the sun sign Pisces. And generally speaking, the sun is in Pisces between February 17th and March 20th. So knowing the astrological associations of the major arcana cards tends to make it a little bit easier to make a prediction. Now, Manage your resources. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to use the spread the way it is in the calendar. And this is the blurb that Barbara Moore wrote to accompany it. This spread shows the state of various areas of your life. The 4 listed above are suggestions. Feel free to replace them with any areas, general or specific, that are of most concern to you. The first 4 cards represent the current state of those areas. After you have interpreted those, then lay cards 5 through 8. These cards show your best course of action for the best stewardship of those resources. Great word, stewardship. So I have a lot of decks here, but I'm going to respectfully lay this calendar on top of these 2 goddess images, and I apologize if that upsets you. And I'm going to take a... This is another wonderful tarot bag that I found on Etsy, and I love the whole thing. I love the inside, I love the outside, I love the straps. But yeah, I'm really digging this whole thing. I'm not normally fond of suns and moons together, but in this case I happily make an exception. So, this is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I consider to be my birthday deck, because this tarot deck was published in January 2017. Hello, Isis. Isis, I'm a bit busy right now. And, you know, you didn't say you wanted to be in the video, and you didn't say that you did or didn't, so now I will need you to wait a little bit. Right? Right. She did not like that. Okay. And I'm going to ask you to get down. I'm sorry. Get down. Okay, thank you. She was going to get down. All right. I call upon the goddesses, the ascended masters, the angels. Call upon my spirit guides, my psychic guides, my ancestors. I call upon all benevolent celestial beings to bring clarity and illumination into this casting of cards. May all that is revealed bring clarity, illumination, truth, and insight. May it bring blessings overflowing. May it increase guidance. May it increase prosperity. May it increase healing. May it increase wholeness. Okay, don't you start, boss. Because I know you like to be a mini her. Come on, come on, come on. Get down, get down, get down. No. Chica, chica, chica. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh, you just stick into that. You know better. And for those of you watching at home, or on your mobile devices, this may resonate with you, or it may not. We'll find out. Three piles. And I'm going to put them back together like this. Have a sip of my tea. Have another sip of this delicious tea. And now I am ready to cast the cards. So, card number 1, your mind. Or in this case, my mind. Or your mind. Card number 2, representing the physical self. Card number 3, it reads your work. So it could be professional life, work life, career, professional endeavors, etc. Card number 4, relationships. For me, this is romantic or otherwise, or the lack thereof. So this is not just one kind of relationship, it is all kinds of relationships. Now, I'm actually going to put this deck here for the moment. And once I have interpreted cards 1, 2, 3, and 4, I will lay out cards 5, 6, 7, and 8, which will show one's best course of action for the best stewardship of those resources. I hope you're ready, ladies and gentlemen. The mind. The High Priestess. Wow. I've talked about this card. I've said that this card is a representation of my soul. My personal psychic advisor, Roger Pratt, once said to me that people will see me as the Hierophant, which in some tarot decks is called the High Priest. But definitely, when I look at this card, I see a physical manifestation or a physical representation of my personal goddess, the goddess more commonly known as Isis, although she was known as Osset by the ancient Egyptians. And certainly, this is a reminder to bring one's mind into a state of spiritual and psychic exaltation. And keep in mind that now Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Sagittarius. Jupiter is the planet of prosperity, expansion, and mysticism. And Sagittarius is the sign of expansion and mysticism. And Sagittarius Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this is definitely confirmation, especially during this Jupiter and Sagittarius transit, to keep one's mind as psychically and mystically open as possible. Now, the physical self. It is the Nine of Wands. It's very interesting to see that in this card, the figure looks very battle-worn. Rips in the shirt, or the tunic, or the romper as the case may be. A bandage around the head. I would swear that one of these boots looks a bit ragged. So this is a reminder to make sure that one is getting as much rest and relaxation as possible. Definitely, I look at the Nine of Wands as you are on the verge of doing too much at one time. You are on the verge of doing too much too often or too soon. And of course, after Nine of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands, the card that for me is always about the client is desperate for a vacation. So for me, Nine of Wands is saying, take it easy. Do a little bit less. Rest a little bit more. Then we have one's work. Again, this is one's professional life, one's position of employment, one's professional career endeavors, etc. And it is interesting. It is the Seven of Swords. So, what do you think is owed you? Or said another way, what do you feel has been withheld from you or taken away from you? I am not remembering how Dr. Catherine Ponder phrased it in her prosperity books. But what I'm hearing is a passage from a spiritual decree, and it goes something like, my good cannot be withheld from me. So I look at this card, and yes, I'm going to look at it literally, because this is the card that is well, no. This is not traditionally the card of theft. No, it is. It is. Five of Swords is traditionally the card of indecision. Seven of Swords is traditionally the card of theft. So I'm looking at this card from the perspective of you believe something was taken away from you, or you believe something was withheld from you. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that there is nothing and there is no one that can withhold your good from you. There is nothing and there is no one that can withhold your prosperity from you. So let us say that there is an opportunity that is available to you, especially in your professional life. And let's say, for the sake of argument, that you have not yet expanded your mind to the degree that you can see how to manifest that opportunity. Because, again, I'm being, I don't like the expression devil's advocate, but I'm going to use it in this instance. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that the opportunity that you want, or the reward that you want, you may not receive from your current position of employment, but you might receive it from your next position of employment. Again, this is speculation on my part, but let's just pretend, quote unquote, that is when you will receive this reward. That is how you will receive this beautiful opportunity, or this new door opening up for you, as the Spirit comes upon me. And as I take another sip of this delicious tea, your relationships, again, this is all across the board. This is not just romantic or the lack thereof. It is your relationship with self. It is your relationship with the divine. It is your relationship with your blood relations. It is your relationship with the people with whom you engage in ritual work and spellcraft. It is, especially since I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot, it is the people in your community, if you will. And this card is Eight of Swords. So we have 3 phallic symboled cards in a row. So there is definitely a focus on creativity. And it's interesting that the polar opposite of Sagittarius is Gemini. So, which is one of the most creative signs of the zodiac, at least for me, yes. So this card is basically saying, have more faith in your relationships. Have more faith in your relationship with yourself. Have more faith in your relationship with the divine. Have more faith in your relationships with the people that you love and adore, and that love and adore you. Now, cards 5, 6, 7, and 8. These cards show your best course of action for the best stewardship of these resources. So, best course of action with regards to the mind. It is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands for me is about focusing on overcoming obstacles and barriers. So, how can you expand your mind? What can you do? What can you infuse your mind with to overcome the obstacles and barriers that may be preventing you from being more psychic, from being more intuitive, from being more connected to your ancestors, your spirit guides, your psychic guides, as the Spirit comes upon me? And the 8 of Wands is also about harnessing your creativity. You know, I still remember when I participated in Doreen Virtue's Goddesses and Angels workshop in June 2000, I want to say June 2005, if I remember correctly, or June 2006. And she said that all artists are clairvoyant. So how can you harness your creativity so that you can be more psychically connected? Hi Isis, I'm still doing the video. Come on, get down. Get down. Get down. Well, I told you to get down. Did I not? Yes, I did. Behave. Okay. Your physical self. And yes, the fact that it's another phallic symboled card is not lost on me. Okay, with regards to the resource of making the best of one's physical self. Interesting, it is the Queen of Pentacles. Queens, for me, are creative energy. And Queen of Pentacles is a reminder that one has the inherent power to create healing and wholeness. You know, there's this Pachamama vibe with the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm remembering the Pachamama card, Isis. You're being very unruly while I'm doing this video. You need to stop. I will feed you when I'm done with this video. Now behave. If you do not behave, there will be a mini her. Come on, get it. Come on. This is a lesson for me. Definitely feed the cats before the video. I'm remembering the Pachamama card from The Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto. It was subtitled Healing, Holing, Wholeness. Holing spelled capital W-H-O-L-I-N-G, as in the process of becoming whole and complete, lacking nothing. Queen of Pentacles is the minor arcana counterpart of the Empress card. So this is a reminder that you're already whole and complete and lacking nothing. And you have within you this power within your body, especially since Pentacles relate to the physical realms, to create, manifest, and maintain healing and wholeness and completion. Okay, with regards to one's work, professional life, professional endeavors, we have the Magician. That's a wild card. I did not expect to see the Magician card, quite frankly. So again, reclaim your power. Reclaim your power. This is what witches do. We are reminded of our power. And sometimes witches fall under certain categories. You know, there are a lot of witches in marginalized communities. This is about reclaiming our power. This is about reclaiming our magic. So whatever we believe has been taken away from us, or whatever we know has been taken away from us, and or whatever we believe or know has been withheld from us, we have the power to use our magic to, for lack of a better term or phrase, speed up the process and manifest our desired good. And this is not about harming anybody. This is about, we know we deserve something good and beautiful and wondrous and juicy, and we're reclaiming our ability to use magic. We are reclaiming our ability to work our magic, and we're manifesting our desired good. And then we have the card that will guide us in how to make the best and the most of this resource called our relationships. And it is, I can't make this stuff up, it's the Empress card. So this is definitely, and it's so appropriate because today is a Friday, a day of Venus, and the Empress card is astrologically aligned with the planet Venus, and I'm wearing a green shirt. Green is absolutely a Venusian color. So this is a reminder to infuse divine love in all of your relationships. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your family, your blood relations, your relationship with the divine. Absolutely infuse that with divine love. And then, of course, if you are in a romantic relationship, or if you're in a divine romance, increase the amount of divine love in that divine romance. And if you're not in a divine romance, or you're not necessarily ready for a romantic relationship that is absolutely divine, and you want to begin to infuse that energy into your complete being, then I would recommend that you increase the number of rose quartzes in your home. And on your person, you might want to carry some rose quartzes on you as a way of manifesting that divine love healing energy that's going to attract to you the divine consort, or rather the divine romance that you so richly desire and deserve. And the final message card is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. I just heard, it's just funny, I just heard like a lot of things shaken up. So Seven of Pentacles, this is about being patient. This is about trusting the waiting process, because if you've done everything that you can do, if you have done the inner work, if you have done the clearing out and the clearing away and the cleansing, then you need to be patient, because your manifestations are already in progress. It may not seem that way. And because Pentacles primarily relate to financial matters, you know, I can attest to this. You know, I've had these moments on a few occasions where it's like I'm working, I'm using the metaphysical methods and the sacred tools that I know work for me with regards to manifesting, well, or rather specifically with regards to creating, manifesting, and maintaining divine financial supply. And what more can I do? I've done the affirmations, I've used the spiritual decrees, I've worked my new moon wish lists, I've used the crystals, I've burned the incense, I've carved the candles, and it's like, okay, now we need to wait. And sometimes the waiting is very frustrating. Sometimes it's very aggravating, and sometimes it's just like, I don't want to do it. And yet, we know, and yes, we do know this, that there is a waiting process. And it's like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to trust, as I would say, Goddess, that I am being provided for in every way, and that Goddess is making a way for me now. So this is about going through the checklist. Like, what needs to be done in the meantime? You know, how are you preparing for your good? Let's say, for the sake of argument, that you want to have a more beautiful, clean, and organized home. Well, what are you doing? Are you sweeping the floors? Are you mopping the floors? Or are you just binge watching one show after another? You know, are you allowing things to fester? Or are you on top of things? You know, and sometimes one needs to take those little breaks. One needs to take those naps. And one needs to, like, you know, say, you know what? I'm going to take care of this, but let me take care of me first. It's all, I'm forgetting the phrase, but I want to, it's not necessarily mutually exclusive, although that might be part of what it is. That, oh, that's what it is. It is symbiotic. You know, nourishing and nurturing ourselves and nourishing and nurturing our homes do go hand in hand. And sometimes we need to make one more of a priority than the other. Okay, so it was a pleasure to cast the cards. I definitely enjoyed this particular spread, and I invite you to use this spread on your own. Again, according to what Barbara Moore wrote, you can list the areas that are most important to you. I know that if I had renamed one of the spreads, or one of the positions, I would have put my spirituality. So whatever it is that's most important to you, and you might even want to, like, think about, well, if I did this spread, what are the 4 areas that are most important to me? And then list them. And then it's like, okay, this is the one I'm going to do first. This is what I'm going to do second. Then this, then this. And if you do this spread, let me know how it goes for you. So in the meantime, YouTube, as always, I thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. I wish all of you many blessings. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, the YouTube channel of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, I invite you to do so. Please make sure that you click or tap the bell icon. That way you will receive a notification every single time that I upload a video. And I cannot over-recommend that you periodically recheck to make sure that your bell icon is selected, because sometimes it gets deselected, and there are many other YouTube channel content creators who are thoroughly convinced that it's YouTube who's doing that. Because really, why would one want to deselect a notification process when one is interested in that YouTube channel? And if you have not already scheduled your sacred session with me, whether it is an intuitive card reading, a private metaphysical class, or an energy healing treatment, I do recommend you do so as soon as possible. I have already begun scheduling appointments for December 2018, and technically I have started scheduling appointments for January 2019. I should be receiving my 2019 appointment calendar sometime before the end of the month. So it'll be sometime between Tuesday, November 13th and Friday, November 30th, 2018. Once I receive it, I will begin officially scheduling appointments from January through April of 2019. And specifically, I will be scheduling dates for giving readings at Notions and Potions on Main Street in Beacon, New York, February through April of 2019. I will not be there in January of 2019 because I will be going back to Easton Mountain and Greenwich, New York to participate in Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation, and I'm very excited about that. But for now, YouTube, I wish all of you and yours many blessings of peace, health, and plenty. And good night.